Good morning, good morning.
Morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
So far, so good. Thanks for asking. I
Eh,
think that the weather is nice today, isn't it?
yeah, it's better than other days. Eh,
Yeah.
Isha, I have a question.
Yeah.
When does the next course will start? Immediately after this one ends?
Well, it depends. It's always about the amount of people that will be enrolled in the next level. So for example, if the course everybody will continue, if everybody will pass, for example, so the course starts immediately. Mhm. Sometimes, sometimes there is like a period of sometimes a week between
Mm,
each starts, but sometimes it's very fast. So it depends on how many students will enrolled. Remember that you always present some information. So if everybody does very fast and everybody continue, if everybody passed, you will start the next level quickly. Mhm.
yeah, I asked because I have a vacation just immediately next day that we
Oh,
finish this course. So
for real, congratulations.
thanks.
Yeah, so in that case, well, I hope you can enjoy your vacation without, I totally understand. I cannot give you exactly the date when you will start because I don't know it. I mean, I don't have the date exactly when the next course started, but they will keep you informed. No worries.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Yeah. So I hope you can enjoy your vacations. No worries.
Yeah, that's my worry that being
Of course,
taking the
nobody wants to wake up early, right? I
yeah.
know. And do you have any plans for your vacations?
Yeah, actually, yes. I no, wait. I just learned that I'm going to travel to Italy.
No way, really? Good for you.
Yeah,
All
man,
right, sounds
I,
good. Well, I
I,
really hope you can do it.
I just lost my pencil. I had it in my hand.
Oh my gosh, maybe it's a host over there. All right, let's see. Welcome, Paola. How are you?
Good morning, teacher. Good
Good.
morning, brother.
Morning. Give me a minute. I will check.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. No worries. Okay, Paola, how do you feel today?
Well, I just slept.
I know
So,
the weather is nice, right? To continue
ah,
sleeping.
yes, yes. Well, in my case, like 6 a.m. I was feeling hot.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, a little hot. In my house it's too hot
Didn't it
sometimes.
didn't it rain?
No, I live in San Salvador.
And it didn't
So
rain. Oh,
no. Well,
okay.
yesterday and today, no.
Ah, all right. In my city rained, so that's why it's a very fresh morning, and I love that
Okay,
type
where
of
are you?
weather. I'm living in La Paz.
Oh, La Paz.
Yeah,
Okay.
so here is not usual to have a fresh morning. Most of the time it's hot, but now it's a nice weather, so I liked it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, but that's so strange because in La Paz rained, but the rest of the country or near uh,
It
from
does.
there doesn't,
I
right?
know, I know. And when everywhere rain, in my city doesn't rain. So it's weird. It's weird. All right,
Yeah.
let's see. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, morning.
How do you feel today?
Oh, pretty fine, thanks. And you, I can hear you that you are talking about in La Paz is fresh today.
Yeah, it's a miracle. But yeah, I feel good when the weather is like that. So yeah, I hope it continue raining. I hope so. But it's not so often that that happens. How about you, Michelle? What's the weather like in your city today?
Well, we are at 23 degrees. So it's a little hot because I hear in the TV that for this time we usually have 20 degrees. So
Yeah, it's pretty
but
hot.
yeah, but it's okay.
As usual, right?
Yeah.
We are already used to that. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being in the class. Thank you so much for being on time. You are the only ones. I don't know where your classmates are, but I hope they can join us soon. Did you check your scores for the speaking evaluation?
Yes.
Yes. Remember, guys, always check everything. Yesterday, I made a mistake with one of the students and I fixed it, of course. So please always check that it says your name, check that you have the score, check that you have the feedback. And also, if you see, I always mark the number. For example, in fluency, I always mark which number you had. For example, if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So always check that you have all the points. And if you have any doubts, imagine that you have, for example, right, that I marked only 5, but in the end your score is 8. So you might think, what happened here? So if you have any doubt, always check. And if you are not pretty sure about your score, you can always tell me. Okay, so maybe it's my mistake, or I can give you the explanation why you had that score. Okay, so please always verify it. All right. Now, what was the topic that we studied yesterday? Do you remember?
Passive voice.
Very good. That's correct. So we studied the passive voice and we will continue today practicing that topic. Today is May 16. Can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. All right. So in the passive voice, we studied the present form and also in the past form. If you see, basically, it's the same. What is the difference in the present and in the past? What's the difference? Very good. Exactly. The verb to be. That is the only one that is going to change. All right. Here we got the structure. I do my homework. This is active. If you want to create a passive, remember, we need to switch. Okay. What is at the end is going to be at the beginning. So now my new subject will be my homework. Then remember the two things that you always need. You need the verb to be, and then the verb in past participle. If the sentence is in simple past, of course, the verb to be is going to change. And you have to put it into past form. So that's the way that we create the passive. Is it clear, the structure, everyone? Yes?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, now, if I want to include the person, for example, here it says, my homework is done, but it doesn't say who did it. If I want to include a person, how can I do that?
You need to use by.
Ah, very good. So in this case, can I say my homework is done by, oops, let me change the color, by I. Can I say that?
No.
So
By me.
what is the correct one? Ah, very good. By me. So remember, we have to use the object pronouns because subject pronouns, they go before the verb, they are the subject, but object, they go after the verb. So that's the way that we can include this subject, okay? Now, let's see some examples that we studied yesterday. A salad is made, and look, by me. In simple past, a salad was made by me. So the verb to be is the one that is going to share or shows if it is in present or if it is in simple past. Now, let's have some exercises. I have here some sentences. We are going to complete the sentences using the passive voice, and then we are going to answer some questions, okay? Look at the number 1. Egyptians built the pyramids thousands of years ago. How can I say the passive? Look, what is at the end is going to be my new subject. The pyramids, verb to be, were, verb in past participle, built thousands of years ago. If I want to include the subject, the person or the people who made the action, what will be the sentence?
By Egyptians.
That is the one. Excellent job. Now, number 2. Did Thomas Edison invent the light bulb in 1879? What will be here the sentence in the passive voice?
The
Look.
light bulb, sorry.
No, continue. Sorry.
The light bulb was invented in 1879 by Thomas Edison.
All right, thank you. So now we have here the verb to be. Yes. We have here also the verb in past participle. Yes. Now it's something that you have to consider. Did Thomas Edison, what type of sentence is that? Affirmative, negative, or question?
Question.
So what do I need to do here? Because if it is a question, we can always keep it as a question. What do I need to do? I have the verb to be. Do I need an auxiliary? What do you think? Any idea? What do we do when we have questions with the verb to be? What do you think? Okay, easy, guys.
I don't know. We can start with the verb to be.
That's correct. Exactly. So the only things that we need to do if you want to create a question, just put the verb to be at the beginning. Was the light bulb invented? And da-da-da-da-da. So that is the question. Okay. If it is in negative, what should I do? Imagine that the sentence is in negative. What should I do in the passive voice?
I think it should be, was the light bulb not invented?
Just the verb to be has to be negative. So imagine that the sentence is in negative. The only things that we need to do is the light bulb wasn't invented. You see, just put the verb to be in negative. So guys, we can create both sentences in affirmative or in negative, and even in questions. And the structure will be just the same. Okay, let's move on to the number 3, volunteer. Create a passive voice, please. This is in affirmative. Clyde Tombaugh discovered Pluto in 1930. So what will be the passive voice?
Pluto was discovered by Clyde Tombaugh in 1930.
That's the one. Good job. So look, remember everyone, in this topic, the most important thing is don't forget the verb to be, don't forget the verb in past participle. That's the key, okay? If you want to include the person, you just need to add by. Thank you. Number 4, volunteer.
Paper money was used first by Chinese over 1,000 years ago by the Chinese.
Okay. So remember here, guys, the order can depends on what you prefer. You can say paper money was used first by the Chinese over 1,000 years ago. That is like the most frequently way to use it, because remember the time frame, if you have a time expression, most of the time they go at the end of the sentence. Or you can say over 1,000 years ago by the Chinese, but doesn't affect in the meaning, okay? Number 5, I need another volunteer.
The iPad wasn't introduced in 1986.
Very good. Look at here, we have negative sentence. So what is going to be negative? The verb to be. So we are going to say wasn't introduced, and if you want to include the person, by. Thank you, very good job. Okay, number 6. What do you think? What will be the passive here? This is a question.
I think it could be was the first real car was the first real car invented by Carl Benz?
Okay, invent or
Invented.
Invented.
By Carl Benz.
All right. Very good. What do you think, guys? Do you agree? Was the first real car invented by Carl Benz? What do you think? Yes? No? Now, if you see, the structure is correct. Remember, if it is a question, the verb to be goes first. There is only one detail. Here, I have a double H word. So what happens if I have double H word? Where do I need to put the double H word? At the beginning, in the middle, at the end?
The beginning?
Yes. So we are going to say when, basically, look, when was the first real card invented? Okay. And then if you want, you can include the person. But in this sentence is not just like not so necessary. So remember, guys, in the questions form, the structure is the same structure that we already know. When we have just no questions with the verb to be, or when we have the double H words with the verb to be. Is it clear? The questions structure? Yes? A little bit?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, let's see, number 7. Volunteer, please.
The first TV was watched in the 1920s.
Very good. So the first TV was watched, and then you can include the time frame or the person. Nice job. Very good. And the last one, volunteer.
The first McDonald's hamburger was made in 1955.
All right. So the first McDonald's hamburger was made, and you can include the person, right? So guys, in the present, I'm sorry, in the passive voice, just keep in mind the things. Verb to be, verb in past participle. As simple as that. Understood? Yes?
Yes.
Any questions about the topic? Or you are ready for an exam?
No, it's clear.
Great. So be careful with this topic. Remember that at the end of every unit, we always have an evaluation. So if you have doubts, please let me know. All right. Now we are going to practice some questions using the passive voice. We are going to discuss this with your classmates. I know we don't have a lot of people today in the class, but even though we need to practice. Look at the first question says, what do you think the most delicious food is made from? Okay, so when you answer, try to answer using the passive voice. Okay, what should be done about air and water pollution? So you can answer, maybe the water must be cleaned, okay, or the air shouldn't be contaminated. So always verb to be, verb in past participle. Then you say, are teenagers given too much freedom these days? And you say, yes, teenagers are uncontrolled. Teenagers need to be controlled by their parents. So always just be sure that you used verb to be, verb in past participle. Clear? Yes? Understood the questions? Yes? Okay, I'm going to send the questions on WhatsApp's groups so you can see them. Then we are going to discuss to our classmates. Let's see. Okay, I already sent it on WhatsApp's groups. We're going to be in pairs because we don't have a lot of people, right?
Okay.
So let's go to work.
Oh, well, the teacher is here. Okay. Well, let's start with the first question first, if you want. What do you think the most delicious food is made from? Well, in my case, I think the most delicious food maybe it could be from Peru because the ceviche. I have heard a lot of people say ceviche is the best food. So I think the most delicious food is made from from Peru. Yeah, I like ceviche a lot.
Oh, that's nice. In my case, I believe that the most delicious food is made by Salvadorians.
Salvadorian, the pupusa is the best.
Yes.
I I I I wanted to say Japan, but because I like a lot sushi. I love sushi, but sometimes Asian people using and using kind of ingredients like I don't know animals, strange animals, or it's another culture. So sometimes kind of food from there, it's not my cup of coffee.
The Asian people bring the COVID.
Yeah, so
Yeah, how weird their food is.
yes. So well, because I think the most delicious food is from Peru. Okay, second one is what should be done about air and water pollution? What should be done about air and water pollution? Mm, well, for me, the what should be done? Mm, 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 mm. It's a difficult question.
This question is hard. Even I am thinking.
Yes. Well, I think um about air pollution, about air pollution, I think uh what should be done?
I have one idea.
I have an idea, but I don't know how to respond the question. I don't know how to build the sentence. What should be done?
Um, in my case, I have read that the cars are not the problem, but I will say that less cars needs
Yes.
to be driven by people, but that only impacts like 10% of the pollution. Most of the pollution comes from the industry of meat and all the production. So the
Okay.
change needs to be made by company.
With the air and water pollution,
True.
I don't know,
No.
we must be more aware about the situation, but with uh, with the air and water pollution.
I think it's a hard question.
Yes,
Uh,
it's a difficult one.
Think about the rivers, think about the lakes, the oceans, think about those companies that only throw a lot of trash into the environment. So what do we need to do in order to prevent it or in order to improve that situation?
I was thinking to drive less, but I'm not sure how to make passive voice about that.
Easy. Cars should be driven less.
Driven less.
Mhm.
Should be. Oh, B. That B was okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. What else, guys? What else do we need to do?
I think initially, the water pollution should be avoided, but it's not like you can tell the company don't throw things in water and things like that.
Okay. What else?
I think, I don't know if this is in passive voice, but the people, all of us, must be more aware about these kind of things. And
Actually, it's good. I like that. That's a good
Okay.
sentence. Yeah.
okay.
Very good. Remember, guys, what do we need if you want to create passive voice? Verb to be, verb in
Mhm.
past participle. Simple as that.
Okay.
Very good. Continue, please.
Yes. The next one is, are teenagers given too much freedom these days? Do they need to be controlled? Yes, I think yes.
Teenagers aren't given too much freedom, actually. I mean, it's the same as always. Oh, kids from kids from today only in their cell phones. When I was a kid, the old people says, "Oh, people all day in the video games." I mean, it's always the same thing. I'm not um agree with that. Yeah, and I mean, kids are kids now and yesterday. They all want to be in trouble, but they need to learn lessons. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago, teenagers wasn't had too much freedom. I don't know how to say that. Yes, freedom.
Yes, but I think that in this time, the teenagers do whatever they want to do.
They always do whatever they want.
I'm
It,
not sure because, for
it's not because
example,
today, it's because the teenage phase of everyone's.
for the age, but
Yeah,
yes, but the age, that age, it's very mm, complicated, and I think the parents need to be, maybe control. It's not the best word, but maybe more. They have to give them more attention.
yeah, I'm agree.
Yeah, so
It's
I think control it. They
Is well with the with the question number 4, what is usually eaten for breakfast in your country? What is usually eaten?
Pupusas are eaten by Salvadorians.
Okay, let me, well, I want to write the sentence, maybe. Pupusas were eaten, usually in the country, pupusas were eaten usually in the country. I think that that's the structure. But the third question I didn't respond, teacher, because I don't know how to
The
build
third,
the sentence.
Which one?
The
Our
number 3,
Oh,
are teenagers given too much freedom?
so do you think that they have a lot of freedom or not?
Not.
So you can say, well, I don't think so. I don't think teenagers are given too much freedom these days. I think that they only need to be given more attention by their parents.
They
So-
need, they were needed.
Well,
They-
if it is in past, word. If it is in present,
Oh,
uh-huh.
yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
remember, if you don't agree with the statement, you can say that, you know, I don't
Yes.
agree with that. Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
So in the number 4, what is usually eaten here in our country for breakfast?
Oh, well, in the sentence must in present. So I don't know, but I thought the structure is always using past.
Not really. Remember, guys, that we can use present and past.
Mhm,
Actually, we can use this topic in all the grammar tenses.
mhm.
Right now, we are just going to use it, the present and the past, but we can use both.
Okay. Well, that's my. Well. With the question number 4, it could be pupusas. Is eaten for breakfast in my country usually.
All right. But
Okay.
pupusas is in plural. Can I say pupusas
Well,
is?
are
That's the
uh,
one.
are usually eaten. Okay. Pupusas.
If the American doesn't know that it's plural.
And what else? What else can we eat? Or what else is eaten for breakfast, Fernando, in our country besides pupusas?
Um, I believe for breakfast, the chicken or meat is usually eaten in my country.
All right, cool. Now, listen, we need to go back to the main room because we need to continue with another activity. It doesn't matter if you couldn't answer the last question, okay? Let's go
Okay.
back.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Time's up. Let's go back. Okay, let's see. I know that there were some questions a little bit complicated, right? Now, good job because I was listening, guys, that you were trying to use the passive voice. I know sometimes it's a little bit complicated, but you were trying. Remember, we can use this topic in affirmative, negative, and questions too. And we can use this topic in all the grammar tenses, in simple present, in past, in future, in the perfect tenses, everything, okay? The only that is going to change is the verb to be. Now, little things that you need to consider, guys. I am not agree. Can I say that? I am not agree. What do you think?
No, it's not correct.
What is the correct one?
We must say I disagree.
You have that option. So
I
you can
disagree.
say, I disagree, or simply, you just need to say, I don't, okay? I don't agree, but not with the verb to be, okay? We cannot use the verb to be when we say agree. I am not agree, no. I don't agree, or as your classmate said, I disagree, okay? What is the pronunciation of this verb? Can I say controlled? What do you think?
Control.
Very good. Controlled. Okay. So guys, be careful with the pronunciation of the regular verbs. Okay. Be careful with that. Now, when we are talking about the passive voice is very common to use it news. Have you ever read the newspaper? Or do you read the newspaper frequently? Yes or not?
No.
Not
No,
really. Okay.
no.
What happens, guys, if you read the newspaper or if you listened to some news, you will identify passive voice even in Spanish. They don't say like, they found a body in the river. No, how did they say that? They normally say a body was found in the river. So it's very common to use or to see passive voice in news. So I recommend you today, read a newspaper or read the news online or try to listen to some news and try to identify the passive voice. Obviously in Spanish, right? If you read it in Spanish. If you want to do it in English, always try to identify the passive voice because we can use it in newspaper. So imagine here we got some examples. London is flooded. The bank was robbed. Taxes are lowered. So look, passive voice. Here I got some examples too, but because of the time, we are not going to read all of them. Look, Puerto Rico was hit by a hurricane. Look, passive voice, verb to be, verb in past participle. Look at this. Electric power was temporarily disrupted. So was disrupted. Many homes were damaged. So we can use passive voice when we are presenting news. So let's have a practice about that. I have here some ideas and I want you to complete the sentences using passive voice and think about this news. For example, good news about a friend. So imagine here we got an example. She got a new laptop for her birthday. How can I say this but using the passive voice? What do you think? So you can say, hey, my friend, all right, receive a laptop, but that is the active. So we can say a laptop was given to her. How about you guys? Can you tell me some good news about a friend? Think about your friends. Think about some good news. You can say, a friend was promoted. My friend was hired by the company he was applying for. What else? Good news about your friend. Any idea? Uh-huh. No? No idea?
Teacher, I'm sorry, I was in the bedroom. And what is the activity?
All right, we need to present news.
Yeah. Okay.
Always using the passive voice. Remember, in news is where we can normally use the passive voice. So think about your friends. Did your friends receive some good news? So you can say, yes, my friend was hired by the company. That's good news. And I have verb to be, passive voice. What else? What could be another good news about your friend?
For example, it could be my sister, well, or my friend, she 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 just, or no, wait, maybe she was ad, adopt a pet.
Adopted?
Adopted
Okay.
a pet.
But in this case, remember, we can say a pet was adopted by
Oh,
my friend.
my friend. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. What else? Any other idea, guys? Good news about your friends?
I don't know, maybe a scholarship was assigned
Uh-huh.
to my friend.
Good. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Now, let's see. Let's move on to news about the local weather. Think about your city. What news do you have about the local weather? So, for example, in my city, some rains were received in my city last night. So that's why this morning we have a very fresh weather. What else? How about your city? What local news do you have about the weather? What do you think?
The city was flooded by last storm.
All right, yeah, why not? What else? What happens in your city? Of course, you can invent. I mean, it's not necessary to be 100% sure, right? Like a fact. So what else? What happens in your city?
Mine was a fact.
Okay, cool. What else? What happens in your city? Think about some news in general, not only about the weather. So in general, what else? What happens in your city? So for example, you can say, a new building was built. The soccer or the game was won by the team. I don't know.
The
And
highest temperature were experienced in the city.
Cool. That's a good news. Well, a good
No.
structure, a good structure.
Not a good news.
Not good news. Yeah, a good structure. What else? Do you have another news in your city, guys?
Maybe people.
Yeah, go ahead, Walter. Don't worry.
Maybe people has been arrested
Arrested, you
people.
mean?
Yes, people has been arrested
All right.
to I don't sure how we call the regimen exception.
Exception state or something like
That's
that.
Yeah.
exception state. Thank you.
And look at this. He used not the simple past. What is the grammar tense that he used?
In the example of Walter, I think it should be many people were
Arrested.
arrested. Sorry, arrested.
So
A prefect, but I don't remember the name.
many people have been. So basically he's using the present perfect. So
Yeah,
this is some,
that's perfect.
So this is
Remember
something.
that was perfect.
So imagine that means, guys, we can use this topic in different grammar tenses, not only in simple present, not only in simple past, in all the grammar tenses. But the rule is the same. I need the verb to be and I need the verb in past participle. So many people have been arrested during the exception regime. What else? Do you have any other news about your city?
In San Salvador, many concerts are scheduled for next week.
Cool. So you see, you are giving news. Now think about your family or famous people, some singers or soccer players. Do you have some news about them? So for example, I was checking that a new song was written by Shakira these days. It's not about Piqué, so I think that is worth it. What else? Do you have some news about famous people or about your family?
For example, last year, El Salvador was visited
Visited?
by Daddy Yankee.
Cool, excellent, that's good news. So was visited always, guys, verb to be, verb past participle. What else? Any other news about famous people or about your family? What do you think? Uh-huh. No more news? All right, listen. So you had to be careful, please. I recommend you to try to read some news during the day and identify the passive voice. Of course, we are not going to describe all the news only with the passive voice. Not. We can combine some sentences in active voice, some sentences in the passive voice. But the idea is just to combine them. Okay? Is it clear? It is easy or a little bit difficult to create a passive voice. What do you think?
I think it's a little difficult sometimes. Well, for example, when in a specific situation, I think.
Ah, very good. Yeah, especially when you need to analyze and you are, how can I answer using that phrases, right? So, but just remember the rule. You need the verb to be, and of course, the verb in past participle. Now, in order to finish, we don't have a lot of time, so we are going to have the last activity for today, and it is talk for a minute. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I need you to answer the questions, but you need to talk for 1 minute. Again, you can say some sentences in the passive voice and combine it with the active. It's not necessary to mention all the sentences in the passive voice, okay? So I need a volunteer who wants to start. These questions are easier, no worries.
Okay, me.
Thank you, Michelle. Very good. Okay. Something expensive which was broken at home.
Mm,
You ready? 1 minute.
wait. No, I'm not ready. I am thinking about.
Invent.
Okay. Last week, plate was broken by my grandma when she was cooking the lunch, and when I hear the noise of the plate, I went with her and tried to help to clean everything because everything was a mess. But at the end of the day, we figure out and we can maybe try to buy another expensive plate in some time, maybe.
Okay, 1 minute. You did it. Very good. Easy or difficult? All right.
Start is a little complicated. I think.
Yeah, but once you started, you go for it. Okay, just be careful because we are talking in simple past.
Okay.
So here is in present. Heard
Heard.
is in past. Can I say can in past?
Cool.
That is the one. Good. That's it. Very good job. So, Michelle, pick someone. Pick one of your classmates, please.
Walter.
Walter. Hello, Walter.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, this is your question. Let's see. Okay, a moment when you were helped by someone.
Oof,
You ready?
okay, no. Give me a second, I need to think.
Okay, no worries.
Um, I'm nervous, I can think about something.
A moment when you were helped. Imagine in your job or at home or with your friends, you needed money and somebody gave you money, or you were carrying something very heavy and someone helped you, things like that. Or you can even invent, no problem.
Um,
Go, try it.
okay, sorry?
You can say, I was helped, ta, 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 ta. Okay,
Okay, sure, go ahead.
go.
Okay, I was helped by Jorge the last week because the last week with a project I had been in trouble with. I don't know, we tried to make an interface and I didn't know how to make it beautiful, and Jorge was helping me. I'm sure if I could say that, but yeah,
He was helping me, that's the one?
I'm not sure if it's correct to say that. He
It's past
he has,
continuous. He was helping me. So
yes, it's grammatically correct, but it's not passive voice. I know.
remember, not all the sentences what has to be in passive voice. You can combine passive and active.
Okay.
Continue, continue.
It's difficult when I try to. I am making out something. It's not like something real that happened. Just I have to
So
try
what
to.
did you thank him for the help?
Ah,
What happened?
yes, I thanked her for her for his help, and I am bad imagining.
Okay, let's stop there. Very good. But even though you are trying, what is difficult is because you are inventing it.
Yes.
Okay, 1 minute. Pick someone, please.
Okay, sure. Maybe Roberto.
Roberto. Hello, Roberto.
Hello.
Okay, let's see. This is your question. Da-da-da-da. Something that needs doing at home or something that
Okay.
needs to be done. Okay,
At
at
my
home.
um at my home was needed to be cleaned. To be clean. Huh?
To be cleaned.
To be cleaned. Okay.
Mhm.
Um because it's too dirty. Um
When
we
will
have
you do that?
oh I'll do in weekend this weekend when I have more free time. Um I have
Eh,
so many cats and this is full of cat surprise.
uh-huh.
So I need to clean all of that. Uh, uh,
And that's it.
yeah.
All right, let's stop there. So I know that this type of practice is a little bit difficult, guys, because you need to think fast, you need to organize all your ideas, and you have to speak and think about the structure and everything. But this type of exercise help us to think fast and not to do the process like first I think in Spanish, then I translated it. No, we need to think fast. I know that is not easy, but it's a practice that we can do. Okay, now before leaving, just a reminder, guys, please work on the platform. Some of you are a little low in the score. Okay, so please keep going. Any questions before leaving? No?
No, thank you.
No. I just
Okay.
want to say this activity was funny.
Very good. Yeah, we will continue doing it, but in another topic. No worries.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
guys.
teacher.
Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.